When it comes to Outlander, people often think of a perfect picture Sam Heughan with the strong, gentle appearance of Jamie Fraser and Katrina Balfe with the image of his loyal wife Claire. On screen, their love is so sweet that it makes millions of viewers believe that behind the lens, it must be just as beautiful and complete. However, the truth is never as perfect as what we see. And the shock came when Sam Heughan himself, the man considered the soul of Outlander, suddenly broke his silence that lasted nearly a decade. He publicly admitted a secret that no one had ever dared to mention before. With just one short sentence, Sam stunned Hollywood and made the global fan community explode. The perfect wall around him began to crack, and behind it was a story full of pressure cracks and darkness that had never been revealed. In that shocking conversation, Sam opened with a quiet but determined voice. "I can't stay silent any longer. If I continue to hide, the rumors will be distorted and will eventually hurt all of us." Those words were like an explosion. The media immediately exploded. Fans everywhere were stunned, and those who had followed him throughout the Outlander journey could not believe that their idol had such a big secret in his heart. Sam began to talk about the time filming the third season of Outlander, a time that according to him was so difficult that at times I felt trapped in the character of Jamie Fraser. The pressure from the tight schedule, the strict requirements from the producers, plus the constant scrutiny of the press, all compressed into a time bomb. Then the bomb exploded on set. A heated argument broke out between Sam and a director on set. The atmosphere was so tense that there were videos recorded and almost leaked. Sam confessed, "If those videos had been made public at that time, I believe my career would have collapsed overnight." Behind the bright smile and polite demeanor that the audience still sees, Sam Heughan lives in constant fear. The fear that a moment of losing control could ruin everything. But what really shocked the audience was not just the arguments with the crew. In his confession, Sam quietly mentioned a period of rift in his relationship with co-star Katrina Balfe, who was considered his perfect other half, both on screen and in real life. "Katrina has always been a great colleague, a valued friend," Sam said with a rare pause. "But there was a period when we were so tense that we couldn't look each other in the eye when the cameras were off." That statement was like a knife tearing apart the dreamy curtain that fans had believed in for years. Because it was the absolute chemistry between Sam and Katrina that created the soul of Outlander. Now his admission that he had cold, distant days with her made everything more complicated than ever. Fans began to dig up old moments, awkward glances during an interview, invisible distance on the red carpet, or times when the two seemed to avoid standing next to each other. All of them were suddenly labeled as evidence of the rift that Sam had just admitted. He didn't go into details, but that silence only added fuel to the fire. Could it be that the scandal that Sam has been hinting at all this time actually originated from his fragile relationship with Katrina? Not stopping there, Sam also revealed a truth that made many people shudder. He had to live under the weight of strict contract terms that forced him to remain silent even though he was surrounded by toxic rumors. "There were things I wanted to speak up about to protect myself, to make it clear that I was not like those malicious rumors. But I was bound. The contract did not allow me to speak the truth. And so I had to stay silent, endure, and let the rumors surround me," Sam confessed. Those rumors did not come from unfamiliar paparazzi, but more frighteningly, they originated from within the film crew. Someone who had worked on the set took advantage of the conflict, spreading false stories. Sam had secret feelings for his co-star. He was isolated and even bullied by the crew. Although never confirmed, those whispers still spread like wildfire in the dark, burning down the image of the perfect man that Sam had spent years building. He said, "I had to struggle not only with the pressure of acting, but also with the lies that were made up to bring me down. It was not just an actor's battle with public opinion, but also a battle with a whole power machine behind where reputation, contracts, and profits are sometimes more important than the real person. As soon as Sam's confessions were spread, social media exploded. Thousands of comments appeared in just a few hours, dividing the fan community into two opposing factions. One side sympathized. Sam is only human, he has suffered for so long. It is brave of him to finally dare to speak the truth. But the other side harshly criticized. He betrayed the whole crew. If he truly respected Katrina and Outlander, he would not have made this public and let everyone suffer the same scandal. In that storm, the name Katrina Balfe became the center of attention. Although she was married and always kept her private life private, she was unwillingly dragged into the vortex of gossip. The press searched every moment of the past, analyzed every look, every gesture to use as evidence for what Sam had just revealed. Under terrible pressure, Katrina was finally forced to speak up. On her personal page, she wrote a brief message. Sam is a colleague and friend whom I have always respected. We have gone through many challenges together on the journey with Outlander. The important thing is that we are still here, still working, and still maintaining respect for each other. At first, that sharing seems calm and diplomatic, but to the audience, it sounds like a bigger gap. Is Katrina hiding a truth that she cannot admit? And does the rift that Sam mentioned really exist deeper than what they dare to say? Before public opinion could settle down, the international media wave hit like a new storm. Major newspapers simultaneously headlined, "Sam Heughan breaks silence." "Outlander scandal explodes." Variety. "The price of silence in Hollywood." The Guardian. From the US to Europe, everywhere were headlines related to Sam and Outlander. Even in his homeland of Scotland, the press called this the most shocking event in Sam Heughan's career, and at the same time divided in their assessment. Some praised him for being brave, others blamed him for being too reckless. Faced with that situation, Starz, the network that produced and distributed Outlander, was forced to speak up. In a press release, they affirmed, "We appreciate the contributions of Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe to Outlander. The show will continue its journey. We hope the audience will focus on the artistic value instead of sideline speculation." However, this message, which was intended to appease the public, was considered too vague. Critics were quick to criticize Starz is just trying to protect its image and profits instead of really caring about the emotions of the actors. Behind the scenes, many sources revealed that the production team had to have an emergency meeting. Some members thought that Sam was too reckless, endangering the Outlander brand. But there were also voices supporting him. Sometimes the truth needs to be revealed. Transparency is the way to free everyone. From a personal confession, the scandal has now gone beyond the scope of the film crew, turning into a global crisis, where every statement, every action of Sam or Katrina is examined as if under a microscope. When public opinion had not yet subsided, Sam suddenly agreed to participate in a live television interview in front of millions of viewers. The whole world held its breath, waiting to see what he would say. Would it be an apology, a denial, or a new shock? In the bright lights, Sam appeared with a tired face but a determined gaze. His voice was low and slow. "I don't regret saying it, but I also don't want to hurt anyone, especially Katrina. She has always been my best friend and companion. I just want everyone to understand that we, even actors, are just normal people with pressure cracks and sometimes make mistakes." The atmosphere in the studio fell silent. A star who was once considered perfect was now shedding his glamorous shell, revealing his true self, weak, hurt, but brave. Many viewers sitting in front of the screen were in tears. They saw in Sam not the indomitable Jamie Fraser on screen, but a real Sam Heughan who dared to face his pain and admit the truth. With that sincere statement, he not only skillfully smoothed over the rift with Katrina, but also won back some sympathy from the public. However, the big question still hung in the air. Was everything really resolved, or was it just the calm before the next storm? After all the turmoil, a big question looms over the fan community and the media. Will this scandal threaten the final season of Outlander? Media experts say that the paradox is that instead of turning the audience away, the noise surrounding Sam and Katrina may actually bring more attention to the show. Curiosity is always a double-edged sword. It can make ratings explode, but it can also overshadow the artistic values that the crew has worked hard to build. As for Sam, in a final interview, he gently said, "I just hope that when people mention Outlander, they will remember the beautiful love story of Jamie and Claire, not the noise on the sidelines. I am no longer the perfect man in the public eye, but at least I am myself, with hidden corners, wounds, and the courage to face them." That statement turned the storm into a moment of calm, because it is precisely this imperfection that makes Sam more relatable to fans. He is no longer a distant icon, but a real person who knows how to stumble, how to be hurt, and still stand up and move on. For Outlander, perhaps, this scandal will forever be a crack in the fans' memories. But it is also from that crack that light has penetrated, revealing the human nature behind the halo. As a reminder that light is only truly bright when it has passed through the darkness. And so, the story of Sam Heughan, Katrina Balfe, and the media shockwaves surrounding Outlander comes to an end. But the echoes still resonate. The scandal may have created a crack, but it is those cracks that make the light more real. After all, Sam is no longer just the image of the immortal Jamie Fraser on the screen, but a real person, with pain, with courage to face it, and with a heart that never stops believing in art. Catriona is the same. Whether she chooses to stay silent or speak up in the end, she is still Sam's co-star for more than a decade, and it is that attachment that has written the legend of Outlander. The question that remains for us, the viewers, is not who is right, who is wrong, but can we see them as real people instead of just symbols? And perhaps, like Jamie and Claire's love, the truth will be proven by time.